I apologize if I yell and it doesn't make any sense to you guys, because I am still going to be watching the Orlando City soccer game.
Good.
There's this cool thing called push to talk.
Oh, true, but that's just annoying because I forget that I have to push to talk, and then it'll be like 15 minutes, and it's like, why is no one responding to what I'm saying?
So the good news is, are you ready for the good news? There goes our 30 minutes of intro. Hope no one had to do anything.
Did we have goals?
Did anyone complete any goals?
I did.
Matt, what goal did you complete?
I didn't get any credit for the scalpel yet. I don't believe. So I completed that.
Okay.
So the goal was to obtain Proton Scalpel, pass through Yuri Pelusian security.
Sure. So I think that the first part of that was obviously far harder, far more difficult than the second part. So go ahead and take... I'm going to take 200 experience for that one.
Woo. Great. And then my other goals have been discussed with the crew, so we don't need to be back over those.
And they will hopefully come up in this session.
God willing.
Okay, fantastic. Let me just, before I forget, let me just pull up Dr. Philip Fisher's character sheet here. Boom. Fortune or Gogo. Hello. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Hello, hi.
Any goals that you guys can
No. I don't think Gogo has goals in life currently, so...
Well, she has one goal, but...
In fact, I believe I wrote as much, so... So no, I did not complete any of my goals.
And Fortune has not completed any goals yet.
Wow, yeah, you did. You did actually write all that. It's good. It's good stuff.
It's good. I mean, I'm staying in character.
Goes list just an endless pit of despair at the moment, or
I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah, no, that's pretty accurate. Well, regardless, welcome everybody. Glad you could make it here.
Yeah.
The British guy appears to miss the Sunday games far more than he misses the Friday games, so me and him are gonna have a chat about that at some point. But luckily, he can. There's going to be a lot of traveling and a lot of other assorted things going on that he may not necessarily need to be present for. So that is good. When last we left our party, we were...
You didn't do the cue correctly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Last time on Olympus...
Dun, 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 dun.
There we go. The group
man, that
had...
soundboard sounds great.
Ah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a new feature I'm testing out. So we had completed all the things we needed to complete on Yuri Pylos. We had obtained some new jobs to complete. But perhaps most importantly, we had said goodbye to a dear friend of the crew. And his function was replaced by our beloved Chan. And that caused an amount of strife and interesting role-playing with everybody.
Yeah.
So, we come into this session with... you guys are about to drop out of drive space. And it is fully possible that Gogo has not emerged from her room. Nor may she. And so what is the crew when you guys look at each other and figure out who's going to fly the ship if Gogo doesn't get out here?
If we're all probably in the cockpit, like waiting like we usually are when we're about to drop out.
Right.
I'd probably look at the rest of the crew. Well, let's find out. Are you leaving your room yet?
Go? No, you
No?
didn't see her.
Okay. I'd probably look at the rest of the crew and be like, don't worry, guys, I got this. And then I'd run out of the cockpit straight for Gogo's room. I'm gonna knock on the door.
Oscar does not pursue you. He stays right up in the cockpit.
You get no response if that's what
Okay.
you're waiting for. The silence is
does it sound like
specific.
there's music? Well, I guess it's probably just headphone music.
You don't hear anything.
Okay. I'd probably like talk through the door, be like, Go, I'm going to fly the ship again.
You don't hear anything.
Okay. I open the door.
It's pitch black.
I turn on a light.
Okay, you see a pile of shit everywhere. And possibly some lumps that look like they could contain life underneath them, but you're not sure.
Okay, I go attempt to poke some of the lumps that look like they may be lice.
Eventually you find one.
Okay. And then I probably like pull your headphone off your ear real quick, and I'm like, I'm going to fly the ship again, but I don't want to break the leg again.
You're... What? What's going on?
We're coming out of drive space, so someone needs to fly the ship.
Silent.
Do you want me to fly the ship again?
Fuck no. Why would you fly the ship?
Because we're coming out of drive space.
And then I think, like, obviously after it takes her a minute or two, she's just like, don't touch my ship. And so I think she like, no, so then she just like, she stands up, but you notice she's like really wobbly. Like,
Okay.
I don't know, something might be not completely right with her.
Like maybe she hasn't eaten or drank anything in a couple of days?
And also you might have noticed that the bottles that you had left are empty
Oh,
currently.
okay.
And she's like, no, I got it. And she tries to walk out of her room.
I trust Gogo to fly the ship drunk more than me, so.
That's 100% a true point.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, so you gonna follow me up there to the cockpit?
She's already like walking
Okay, I follow
as
you
best
up
she
there.
can
Yeah.
away from you. But man, does she look janky.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she's just walking, sort of.
I'll follow you up there.
Yeah, so eventually you make it to the front of the ship, and right as you you guys get settled, and I assume you get into your regular positions, and Dr. Fisher's at the comms console, and Fortune, maybe you're sitting at one of the panels on the sides, and you're sitting or maybe you're sitting on the bench with Oscar, who knows, and Gogo, you sit down in your chair, and you guys hear over the speaker in the cockpit, Chan comes on, and he says, wait, hold on. He says, attention crew, it will be approximately...
So loud. Why is it so loud?
It'll be approximately 4 minutes until we are dropping out of drive space.
You see Gogo just holding her head like, fuck, ow, fuck.
It's a thank you, Chan. Can you bring some water?
I am currently a little busy in engineering, but
God,
I will
Jesus,
attempt to
stop
do that as soon as
ranting.
possible.
Chad, stop speaking.
Silence.
Okay.
Gogo shakes her head. And she starts kind of going through the protocol, but kind of sluggish. Like there's muscle memory going on there, but like she seems to be a bit confused.
Yeah, no, for good reason.
I allow you to go through your process. That's nothing I want to change. Mostly because I probably don't know your process. So.
Oscar is observing from a healthy distance. He doesn't exactly relish the idea of having to fly this thing either. But
Watching the train wreck unfold.
if it comes to it,
Seems good. Yeah, so you hear Gogo kind of like muttering to herself. She's like, yeah, and then, yeah, and then this, yeah, that. And then, oh, God, my head, fuck. Oh, wait, no, I need to, and then she like kind of like spins quickly to like turn something on, and then she's like, oh, God, dizzy. Fuck, dizzy, oh, God, ugh. And that goes on for a little bit.
so I think at this point, Oscar would make his way to the infirmary because surely Fisher's kicking around in there.
Fisher's at the comms panel. In fact,
oh shit. Okay.
he probably looks over, and he might actually get up from his console and walk over. I assume you want her to have some.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's 1,000+ years in the future. Surely there is a reasonable hangover, if not remedy.
This is metadimensional engine
something
grease
to
that
dull
she
the
drank,
edge.
to be fair.
Well,
Three bottles.
he's a man of many talents. So Oscar would certainly ask him, like, quietly, Fisher, she's a mess. Do you have anything to take the edge off?
He kind of nods, and he probably walks over, and he probably takes out. You see him take out like he's like rummaging in his pack, and you see him hold up a vial and like shake it and like stare into it, and he just kind of nods his head, and you see him. It's got like a little self-activator. He just pops it in the side of Gogo's neck, and it's basically the equivalent to space aspirin. It's not narcotic in any way. And as he does that, Gogo, you feel the waves of that act very quickly. You begin to gain more function as you go through. Maybe you didn't even notice.
I was just gonna say she doesn't necessarily notice.
Yeah, and he kind of resumes his seat back at the comms console without a word.
I don't know if Oscar is more disturbed that she didn't notice getting a shot in the neck, or if he's relieved that.
You should be disturbed.
Yeah. So he's still carefully monitoring the situation.
Yeah, and remember, like, in the science of Dr. Fisher, he's been doing this regularly. Like, a couple of times a day, going in and literally just giving Gogo shots so she doesn't die from starvation, right? Like, he's been like supplementing her diet with like vitamins, doing like a whole bunch of stuff while she's been immobilized under piles of crap. So you guys drop out of drive space in 0302, which is an empty hex, which basically just means there's a gravitational well, there's a star, and there's bodies of, like, there's planetary bodies, but there is not a habitable or habitated portion of this system. The only thing that really is here is the exchange beacon. So you guys commence the process of refueling, and I assume go to make some jumps.
Yes.
Okay.
God willing.
So, I have the 4 locations that you wanted to attend in your destination things there. And I have the red circles still as the no-no planets.
Yep.
Simply because you were requested to see the no-no planets.
Johnny No-No's planets.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the plan we all agreed, correct, was to go to 0104
Yeah. And
first,
just make a loop around.
and
Yeah.
then, yep. Gotta pay Rudolph a visit.
Okay.
Sure. Sounds good.
So
Maybe give Gogo some time to dry out and
Well,
chill for a week or so.
So will you be making a double jump or a single jump?
I mean, normal Go-Go is just gonna make a double jump like she always does.
Yeah, it's a 0103.
Nothing wrong. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. I need an 8 or higher.
Yeah.
That seems thematically correct.
So, 3 more days pass. And the real question is, do we see much of the same from everybody in the next 3 days? Or is there anything significantly different that occurs?
Yeah.
It's the 4th of July, if that matters to anyone.
Does that? I don't know that would
I was gonna
hold.
say, is that culturally significant anymore?
It's probably not.
There is probably a planet in the sector that is the American descendant that celebrates some form of whatever July 4th. They probably forget what they celebrate anymore. This would be a way funnier joke if Will were here.
True.
Yeah, it's probably not Independence Day anymore. It's probably like
It's probably
Get
Liberation Day or something.
yeah, get drunk and barbecue something day.
Yeah, it's like Family Day or something.
Yeah.
Or it's a reason for everybody to shoot ordnance at each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Just for fun, right? So
That doesn't sound much different than now. So.
no, it's fairly accurate to what happens nowadays. So you go through the active refueling and then you make your jump successfully. But does anybody actually have anything different that they do?
I think the only major thing out of the norm that Oscar would do is give Rudolph a legitimate estimate when they'll be there and ask for specifics where to meet him.
Okay, sure. You will probably if you sent that when
I'm
you were
aware that
refueling and
it
whatever.
will probably
it will
reach
get
him
there
at the
basically
same
when you
time
guys
that-
get there, right?
Yeah,
But
We'll probably carry it to him.
right.
all the same, it's better than waiting around playing it and not having sent it.
Yeah, absolutely. So also as a reminder, 0103 we've been in a couple of times. It's it's one of our triple planets locations.
Yeah.
It has a bunch of stuff. It has Haldus and Divino and Eurymedon all in it. There's the big tech thing, there's the big mining planet, and then there is the one that's radioactive, that not very many people live on. Tens of thousands is probably the lowest population of any of the inhabited planets around. But it's a fairly populated area, lots of space truckers and manufacturing and all that other fun stuff. Cool. But if nobody wants to do anything, we can continue on and make a single jump to 0104.
Or we can make a double jump to 002. Oh no, this is bad planet. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong markers.
We could do a lot of things, Devin.
Yeah, let's make that single jump to 1.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. I thought red would be obvious enough for bad planets, but I will.
It is, but I forgot that's what those markers are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new stuff going on the map. I gotta get used to it.
Yeah, it's fine. Totally fine. Gogo, would you like to roll us a 7 or higher on a navigation skill check to make sure you don't crash into a star?
I
on your
sure
way to
would.
0104? Good. I am glad.
Is Gogo seen out and about more
Yes.
now, or is she's
Perfect.
still like confined to her room for the most part?
She has no reason to go out and about presently.
All her
Okay.
food is delivered to her, so.
So no.
And
But although if you were to like, interact with Dr. Fisher or whomever comes in to check on me, I am not quite as comatose as I was before.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Fisher and Chan would be probably the ones who were most commonly in the room.
Yeah.
So, the next 3 days passes on your way to 0104. Are we still much of the same?
I'd probably at some point would come by and drop off one more bottle of engine grease.
Okay.
I think Gogo
Yeah.
would probably have come to the door for that. Like, if you had
Oh.
come and knocked on the door, I think she would have opened it and just not said anything and just taken it from you and then closed the door.
Okay. I'd probably
Progress.
when you do come to get it, I would tell you. I'd be like, "There's not much left, so take it easy."
Sure.
Door slides closed still.
not to pick scabs here, but this is the last of it.
Yeah, right? Like, holy crap. But, yeah, it's fine. That same thing occurs as I described.
Yep.
So, speaking, similar topic, I think during this jump, Oscar would look into the information that he was given as a parting gift by Boomer
Cool. Yeah.
regarding his contact.
Indeed. So you use
That's-
the code to get into the ship logs, right? Because you weren't given information on a disk like Fortune and
Mhm.
Gogo were. You were given an access code to access the ship log files that Boomer locked behind whatever crazy assortment of janky ass locks he did. And when you get in there and you go, you see the computer begins to process the information. You see a little like rudimentary animation of it probably comes up with that logo Boom Tech, what Boomer was designing this whole time. And it's probably got a little like animated like 8-bit figure with a horizon on his arm, and he's like holding it down and then holding it up to his face and holding it down and holding it up to his face and holding it down and holding it up to his face. Like that's the animation motion that's happening. It's like perhaps three slides of that, right? Like down, mid, up at face, mid, down, that sort of thing. And then we see it like the image like shatters. And it gives you like a it says welcome Boomer, and you receive a bunch of information that is perhaps a little bit overwhelming at first. Boomer apparently made a habit of hiding some stuff behind his personal firewall on the ship logs. So the initial like assailment of data probably takes you aback, and then you realize that most of it is just like nonsensical stuff. Like there's probably like some detailed reports of how to design another still for engine grease. There is probably like optimal temperature storage for engine grease or optimal temperature storage for this particular type of substance. There's probably some like rudimentary notes on Stanley, like subjects 32 alpha, which is probably what he calls it for some reason. Subject 32 alpha appears to stay away from vital equipment if I spray this substance on it, must do further testing, etc. There is there's some rudimentary information on Chan, who probably has he also has a designation code for some reason. It doesn't use his name. And I think you realize that his designation code is his West Twin identification number. And it talks a little bit about Chan, like behavioral, and then like from the very early stages of like it's probably got a running dialogue of that day that they found him. And this is the first time, Oscar, you've seen any of this information, because previously that was a Gogo and Boomer only thing. But if you'll recall, when they met Chan, he was attempting to stow away on the ship. He was without a collar, and he was emaciated and extremely affected by the lack of the collar, to the point where Boomer initially thought he had some sort of disease. But at Gogo's insistence, and because of the general way that Chan reacted when Gogo commanded him to do something, he didn't pursue further, but Boomer actually almost killed him so that he couldn't infect him or Gogo. And so you get that whole scene of they chased him through the alleyways, they cornered him, they brought him on the ship, they were trying to figure out what's wrong with him, and that's kind of where you're up to speed on it, right? Is all of a sudden there was this guy on this ship that you were apparently going to smuggle out now.
Yeah, I think given what Oscar was tasked with, via Chan by Boomer, he pays very close attention to all this. It would have been interesting to him regardless, but now that he kind of has a job to do, he's going to pay very close attention to that footage and to the state that he was in prior.
Yeah, and there's the footage of him almost rabid, right? Almost a feral creature, as he was approaching, probably almost walking on all fours as he's you see there's the footage. Boomer probably pulled the ship footage from when Chan was in his hooded cloak and looked around for people and ran quickly up to the landing leg and tried to climb up, and then you can see a few moments later as he's climbing up, you see Boomer and Gogo approach, and then they accost him. He leaps down. I think he pushed them both out of the way and ran away down the street, right? And you see them chase after him, and then you see them come back, and you can see Chan's figure head held down, Gogo appears to be walking behind him, instructing him, and they get him on the ship. And yeah, it gives you perhaps a little bit of insight into the conundrum that has been plaguing Chan for quite some time, right? Where,
sure, because I think, as far as Oscar is aware, Chan simply needs this collar to remain alive.
Right.
He wasn't aware necessarily that his behavior would change so radically with it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that Oscar would only really have been exposed to the
sedated and then collared Chan.
Yeah, but also the fact that he's obedient when he has that on. It may not have necessarily occurred to him that it would be an equal and opposite reaction if it was taken off.
Right.
Necessarily,
that it wouldn't follow Newton's laws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe he had kind of, subconsciously or otherwise thought that, if we take it off, he'll be all better. So I think this is definitely a revelation for him to understand that there may be additional risk other than just to his personal health.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and also Chan's a little bit of his past shows up in there, right? Clearly he was running from something, desperate enough to attempt whatever he was going to attempt, right? If they hadn't spotted him, he would have been a frozen corpse in the landing gear, right? But that was the risk he was willing to take to do whatever he was trying to do before. So it doesn't seem like there is an aggressiveness there, but there does appear to be some form of desperation there.
Yeah,
certainly.
I think Oscar likes things. So he probably feels the way about that he feels about nanites, and nanites are difficult to understand. So erratic behavior is just as scary to him as aggression.
Yeah, totally.
I would think. Like his whole purpose is to try and predict like what could go wrong in a situation. So anything that is intrinsically
chaos.
Yeah, that puts up major red flags for him.
Yeah, totally. And also, it may be the reason you're being shown this information too, right? Like, before it was Boomer and Go-Go who knew about this, and in addition, Boomer anticipated that Go-Go would be, let's just say, out of sorts, and so somebody else has to know, right? Like, somebody else has to know the story of how this happened and how this occurred, because if the worst case scenario is to occur and Go-Go runs off or disappears and leaves Chan, who would know that this is a possibility?
Yeah, so that he I don't necessarily know that he would take like a hard copy of that footage. I think just seeing it has kind of made him as aware of the situation as he needs to be.
Yeah, and you can always go back and look, because it's actually stored in the ship computer. Just it was locked previously behind Boomer's firewall. And reasonably, this stuff probably would have gone to Dr. Fisher, but he didn't know Dr. Fisher very well, nor trust him. So, yeah. However, also contained within that thing, besides the Chan thing, besides the Stanley thing, besides like the running diatribe of engine grease, there is also some information on an entity that Boomer has named Sender, Sender. And you can see kind of like, because again, this is like Boomer's personal logs, right? And you can see that basically back in, I think it was February of this year, of 3264, when you guys were on Ferial for the first time. And you guys were in the North Korea zone, as you guys will call it, I'm sure, forever. Or the good guy North Korea, because we actually don't know what was wrong with that. Is something wrong with my mic?
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of popping.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on, please.
Do you have like one of those electric fly swatters close to it?
Yeah, it sounds like it's like something's happening every time.
How does it sound now?
It's only every once in a while, so
yeah,
it wasn't
really
a
not that
consistent
bad.
thing.
It's fine.
I think my cable might have been a little out, so...
Yeah, it sounds a little bit like when a cable is like not fully all the way in or whatever.
I think it might have been my cable in the back, because I've been unplugging it lately. So, yeah, I think maybe I just forgot to plug it back in all the way. Okay. Let me know if it happens again, though, because that is something I want to try and address. Anyhoozle.
So,
back when you guys were on Ferial, and he initially got that information for you on the girl, right? The supposed daughter of... I have to look at my notes here to see what the hell that guy's name was.
Ms. Oha.
Yeah, that guy.
Yep.
Olympus Notes, is it the original? Nope, that's you guys. That's character creation. Olympus Notes 2. Nope. Whatever. Yes, that guy. The supposed daughter of him, right, was the one who...
Wait, did he get me that information? Because I was pretty sure that Natalia...
No, Boomer gave you that information, and then you pass it along to Natalia to be like, do you know anything about this woman?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, when you guys were in the North Korean side and Boomer had his hanky-jank fucking setup, remember, you guys were all asleep, he was in a Mountain Dew-induced coma,
yes.
And he got that message are you still there? and then, you know, some more text, and he got some printed files, and you I think were out with Fortune at the time.
Yeah. So I got the image of that, but I think her name proper, in my notes I have that came from my visit with Tychern on my home planet.
Correct. You had the image, and you had her connection to Ohm, right? Ohm was his name, or something to that effect.
Doesn't matter, he's dead.
Yeah, he's super dead. You had the connection to him, and then Tychern, when you spoke with Tychern, he confirmed that he did have a daughter. And then you also gave the information to Natalia to be like, hey, we did such a good job. Can you see what you can know about this?
Yes.
Can you see what you can figure out about this? And so Boomer's notes are on this mysterious individual named Sender. And that's what you can tell in his notes, that's what he called her, or him, or it, or whatever. And it is the individual who basically gave him this information. Now, you didn't know that there was an individual before. You knew that Boomer found some information and then gave it to you. But now
he never said how.
Right, there is some other entity here, and as you kind of scroll through, like, Boomer does, like, a lot of investigation as to trying to figure out who this is, and ultimately comes up unsuccessful. But does provide an information on, there is a, if you need assistance, contact me at this address. And it's just a simple space mail address, basically. That is like, you know, AF3215 dash, it's a ton of just numbers that, just like a nonsense string of numbers and letters and characters, at, like, you know, Gmail. So totally generic, not even like, you know, anything to anyone. And that's the information you get from that. And the fact that, like, that Sender originated from Frial, basically.
And would it be... There's no way that I would know if they were actually on Furial. Like, I have nothing to go on beyond.
Well, so Boomer documents his conversation with them, meaning that they were in Furial the same time you were. Whether or not they are there now, who knows? Are they based there? Maybe. Are they not? Maybe.
That was my question, was whether or not this was like some sort of incoming transmission from elsewhere, or
it was
local at the time.
It was a live conversation that Boomer had with this this entity.
Okay, because that makes a big difference. Well, not a difference, but it's a major point to make.
Totally.
Okay, cool. So yeah, he probably makes a hard copy of that entire conversation that he had with her, like pulls it onto his compad and saves this address of theirs.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
All right. So, another thing that occurs during your time traveling, Gogo, you said you're being far less catatonic, correct?
Yeah. You know how, like, rage just kind of subsides into kind of an eerie calm?
Yeah, totally.
Fortune's well aware of that state.
Yeah, so she's in the eerie calm stage presently.
Okay. So, probably during this particular jump, during the 3 days that you're spending on your way to 0104,